And my hooks are in, and he's not gonna like crazy tight, but he's also not gonna be a limp noodle with his arms going crazy, but he's gonna be in the general T-Rex position. Right now, I have double underhooks, and I have my hooks in, okay? I'm gonna let go, push his head, and pass my feet across, watch. I turn to the side, and I pass 1 foot across. And the other leg comes over his face. So I sit up like I'm gonna do it. You guys are brand new here, but I would come back normally for an arm lock, okay? So as I want to go back to this position, look at my hand here. I grab his shoulder, I lift him back up. I can even help him back up. I scoot back over here. And it's just a repetitive drill, right? He stays kind of tight. I'm not going to do an arm bar, right? I'm here like this. I can scoot myself over. I hug his shoulder. I push his face away at the jawline. See how it's right here at the jawline? That's different than here. When he turns back in, he turns back in with his chin. You see that? So that's how now he turns back in. I just stop him from turning in. Then I replace that with my hand, or sorry, my leg, and then I'm back up to here, right? I'm back up. I have my hooks. I come to the other side. I block. Back up. Go. We're not doing the actual arm lock right now. He's just gonna stay kind of here. Probably made it easier for you to hold eventually, right? So you'll feel it's like a scoop and a scoop, and it helps. We help lift each other up doing that. We're gonna do that for 2 minutes at a time. Good to go? Ready, set. Okay, so we got 3 different styles of mount. We're gonna utilize 2 of them today, real strong, maybe even 3. This is just a seated mount. Knees down, knees tight, feet tight. So this is, you're gonna hear knees tight, feet tight from me a lot. That's this position here. He can be doing various things from cross faces to hand fighting from this position, okay? The other one he has is a skydive. This is where his ankles are crossed underneath my butt, and he has his arms nice and wide. Looks like he's skydiving out of an airplane. He can also add a crossface into this. There's crossface type movements that he can do as I switch sides. Last but not least, there's technical mount. Some schools and people will call it classic mount, but his knee's up by my head, a little bit further, Gavin, right? And he has his shin, his fib, across my belt line, right? He doesn't want it up by my armpit, he doesn't want it down by my knee, and he doesn't want it out at an extension so that it's easy to get my legs back in and stuff. So it's across and tight across my belt line. His hips are now behind my shoulder. So if I try to turn back, Gavin can resist with his hips, right? So he has that in this position instead of in the skydive or technical or classic mount. Here, he's got the crossface, right? So he has the crossface that he can control my chin with. And in the technical mount, he's gonna kind of control my chin, but my shoulder through his hips and his back this way, okay? So let me come to mount now, Gavin. So what I'm going to talk about here is the gift wrap, okay? If there's something that I have used more in my life, it is this. Whether it's arrest and control procedures, whether it's military, Fallujah time frame, whether it's MMA fighters and MMA training, self-defense training, this is dominant white through black belt, okay? And it's also through all genres of jiu-jitsu, gi, no gi, and strike-based jiu-jitsu applications. So.
Isn't tattoo on your back gift wrap and you're like punching someone?
Yes, I have a tattoo on my back, gift wrapping and punching someone. Okay, it's one of my favorite positions, but also one of the very first moves that I ever learned. Okay, so whether I'm using 2 hands to push his wrist across his neck, whether I'm using my belly to push his wrist across his neck, or I'm using a combination of to push it across his neck. Eventually, my goal is to go around his head and grab high above the wrist. I don't want to grab his hand right now. Okay, I want to grab high above the wrist. I want this to be tight. The next thing I got to do is I got to get elbow control, okay? And I want to turn my body. So I have this elbow control that can replace his, or my chest. Now I'm going to adjust. I need to turn to that technical mount, but I can't really do it from this position here, off balance. So I slide my knee up and then I turn on to my foot here. When he's resisting really hard, turning towards me, I'm able to posture and force his elbow across. If I just hold his wrist, or if I go for like the grip too early, because my goal is to get his wrist here. If I go, rub it on you, boy.
What?
if I try and go for this too early, resist real hard, Gavin, I won't be able to actually turn him. I need elbow control to actually rotate him. And this now I'm blocking his elbow and his shoulder here. Now it's good to go underneath because I have my hips blocking his back to grab my own wrist. I'm like half and half. The first one I'm grabbing with a thumb and the other one I'm not. I'm gonna go ear to ear now. So I'm lifting from this ear and I'm gonna lift him up over that way. So I'm not dragging him on my back. I lift him up, my foot will come out from underneath his butt, and I come to the other side. I'm still ear to ear, and I can lock a body triangle. Preferably not on my foot, not on my calf or ankles crossed. It's a full body triangle. Some of you may not be able to do that, and I'll put the hooks in and you'll just get the hooks. All right, so let's try it a couple more times real fast. Do some different angles, okay? That'll be a pretty funny video. Again, he's looking on you, rubbing it. So no matter how I do it, start to resist a little bit, Gavin. If I can't just force it across with my hands, now I have to use my belly. I can do that to now grab the elbow, adjust my position, and keep resisting Gavin, and then be able to turn him onto his side. Once he's there, I can now grab my wrist. I don't want to do this, watch. I don't want to drag and pull him like this, okay? That's why I want to lift him up and make him go to this other ear like that. Bang. Pull him into my ear-to-ear position, into the body triangle. I'll walk you through it, right? Ready, sit. All right, so I'm gonna force back exposure by just learning how to use my chest a little bit, okay? And so if he's T-Rex right here, if I can get behind his tricep or his elbow, like say I'm in side control, but if I got behind his tricep and elbow and I push in on my toes and my knees and I'm driving in like this. So don't get me wrong, I'm not on my knees. If he pulls back, he's going straight back on his back. This is not a forever drill either. I'm trying to do this for a moment to grab that grip, okay? So again, where he's here like this, I'm maybe in side control. I'm gonna get behind his elbow with my body. And then look, I'm gonna make that grip like we just did a second ago, right here. And I'm gonna jump as best I can, real low, into that technical mount. Chop, back into his belt. Make sense? Stay there again for me. He's here. I'm in side control, I'm in side control. I'm in side control. We're not doing this from mount just yet. We did it a second ago from mount. But if I got underneath his elbow, I just pushed. And now I can get that grip that we had a second ago. I'm gonna jump and try and clear my leg over his leg. Then it's gonna chop back into that belt position that we had. This is where I wanna get, okay? One more time. Corey, head this way. So in side control, I'll get behind his elbow and push. And then I'll get that grip while I'm on my toes and jump. This is where I'm able to get to that position quickly. That pressure makes sense, guys? That makes sense to you?
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right, let's do that. So when he's on his side right here, we're gonna connect something, right? Well, I have his arm, right? This is also the arm for the seatbelt. This is also the hook arm for this drill earlier, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pinch my foot underneath his armpit. I'm gonna have my leg over his head. I'd like to kind of cross my feet here. And then I'm gonna have the arm already hooked in this case. There's so many cases where, keep your hands together, I can have my knee on the outside, my leg across, my other leg across. There's this hand, that hand, grabbing this leg. There's so many different grips. I'm just talking about this one in particular right now, okay? So you landed today with both of my legs over his body in several different instances, right? So all I'm gonna do, super beginner, I'm not even doing a big grip break, is I'm coming down to his elbow, or sorry, my elbow down to his wrist. So I have elbow and wrist control. I'm gonna kind of lean toward his head. I make contact with my body, right? So I'm gripping onto my body, and I go towards his head a little bit, and then it breaks the grip, and I can go away down towards his legs now to finish the submission. Now you keep it right here. So I have this grip, I never let go. My feet are tight, my knees are tight, and then I slightly lift my hips off the ground to cause the armbar. Go tap, right when the arm starts to hurt. I'm not laying my head down on the ground. I'm not even using my hands. Okay? So, sit up for me. There you go, stay. So we were in this position today. We swung around, pushed the face, and came up, and we had this arm hooked. So if he connects his hands, we're gonna go deep as we can at the hand and the wrist down here. Make contact with your body, go towards his head, break the grip, circle back down towards the legs, pinch your feet tight, right underneath his armpit, as much as you can. Your knees need to be pinched tight, feet are pinched tight here, and I lift my hips until he taps. Okay? Pop off real quick, and then use, repeat real fast so you can watch. on your back. So scoot down just a little bit. All right, there we go. Yeah, it's on his side. Today, we landed in technical mount. You were like this several times in different positions today. All we're gonna do is stay hooked, push the face, and I swing my leg over his face. I'm still on top of him, you notice that? I don't have to go, fall back every single time, all right? So as we were in this seatbelt position here, look, I have the same grip. Hug the shoulder, I come out, push the face so he can't turn towards me, and now I have the grip. I'm gonna reach underneath and grab the opponent's wrist with my elbow, break his grip, and circle back down towards his feet. Now I can hip in and cause the arm bar. Same thing from right here, watch. Same drill that we just did. Chest gets behind him, I press in on my toes, I'm going more towards his head than his feet. I get my opponent's grip like this, and I sit into this position. Maybe I switch to here. Got his arm, break it towards his head, come back down towards his feet, got the arm going. So everything that you have today is connected to that arm being gripped like that, and you can land the arm bar. So you can do it from the back. So again, we're doing it from the back control drill that we did earlier with the swinging arm bar. You can start out here, right? Just learn how to do it here. Deep hook, make contact with your body low. So this is a high hook, make contact with my body high. So I'm like, I'm not gonna go grab my hand down here anyways, it doesn't physically make sense. And I break it towards his head. If I go here, Ricky keeps his hands in his chest, in his meridian line, which is the middle of his sternum, middle of his body. The more that I can bring his hands above his head, or to one side of his body or the other, his grip will break better. So if I stay here, well, I will stay here forever. I won't be able to break grip. Going towards his head, it gets super hard. If I go towards his head, it's a little bit easier to get his hands to go up there, and now I can bring his arm back down, hip in for the arm bar. One more time, head towards the camera. We were in technical mount today as well, right? We got here, we used our chest to push behind him, we grabbed the wrist underneath his head, we got to this position, we turned him, we got all the way to here. You can stay here, you can thump him, you can beat him up, you can force the back, or you could use this position to look how I rotate it. Look, rotate while I'm holding his wrist. I put my forearm across his chin, facing away. My leg goes over his face. I can hook his arm. Arm up. All right, several different variations that can go on there, but that's like the gist of today. Whatever position you're in, I want you to land that arm bar. We're gonna drill right now, and I'll let you guys mess around and drill the different positions and play with it all that we learned today so you can connect it in your own brain. But essentially, I want you to land the arm bar from all the different back exposures. Here we go. Ready, set. You get that.